Whew. Okay, alright. Okay, I'm good, I'm fine. My hair is messy, but that's okay. Whew. Okay. What's up guys, it's Ashley. Welcome back to my channel, and if you're new, hi, I'm Ashleyanne. Welcome to my channel. You should definitely subscribe and click the bell down below to be notified every time that I come up with a new video. Whew, okay, if you're seeing the title of this video and you're wondering why in the world am I smiling, that is because all of this happened a year ago and I am very nervous. Like extremely nervous, and I'm trying to calm down, but I'm very on edge right now, so I'm gonna breathe. I'm just gonna breathe. When I get nervous, I like smile a lot because it's just a lot. Okay, today what I'm going to be talking about is very different from anything else that I do on my channel, and it's a lot because I'm talking about myself, and I am not a very open person. I don't like to share a lot about myself. I'm struggling to breathe. I'm very closed off. I'm very private. I bottle up my emotions. I do not share a lot of myself. I don't talk to anybody about my feelings or my emotions or anything or my problems. I'm very closed in. So to make this video, knowing that literally any human being on this earth can see it, it definitely, the pressure is on. But I want to make this video because I think that it can help somebody. I'm like literally having a difficult problem breathing, but I'm going to try and keep going. I think it could just be very helpful for somebody. I'm so nervous. I wanted to make this video for so long, but I keep putting it off, so here I am. I'm going to make this video and I'm just going to breathe. It's going to be all over the place, and I'm sorry just because I'm nervous and I didn't write anything down, so it's going to be everywhere. It's going to be very chaotic, but I'm going to do my very best to tell this in as much detail as possible. I'm really nervous. I'm really nervous. I'm hoping that even if friends, family, strangers see this, that it helps somebody, and it hopefully provides a bit of insight or understanding or clarification, or I don't really know, but okay, here we go. Let's get into this video because I'm nervous and I'm trying to calm down. October, oh, I'm sorry. I don't like to talk about my secrets. Okay. October of 2017, I wasn't having the best day. So October of 2017, that's the same year I believe that I started college. Yes, it is, because I started college September of 2017. I graduated high school in 2017. So September, I hated school. I hated college. I hated the transition. I hated every moment of it, but that it was what it was. Oh, it's so weird being honest. Okay, so I'm sorry, I'm like really trying. It's just really hard. Okay, so in October, I'm not gonna cry, I'm fine. Oh my gosh, I just can't talk. Part of me feels like maybe I'm just not ready to talk about it or make this video. Whew, but I really just want to. Like, I just want to talk about it. I just want to get it out there. I just want to help somebody, so. Oh, my eyes are watering. Okay, let's do this. Let's just rip the band-aid off. Actually, just do it. Okay, so October of 2017, I was crossing the street and I didn't see cars near me, but for the record, I'm not the best at crossing the street. So I was crossing the street, and then a car was like, here I am, and here's the car, like this close, and then they like, I guess they saw that I was crossing the street, so the guy beeps the horn, and I'm like, sorry, and I go and I cross the street. And it kind of shook me up because, like, you were this close to getting hit by a car, and I appreciate the fact the person stopped, but they technically didn't have to stop for me, you know?
They technically did have to stop for you, Ashley. This isn't a case where it's like, oh, I can let her go or I can hit her. No, they would have killed you. They had to stop for you.
In that same week, keep in mind this is the beginning of my very first semester of college. In that same week, I took the wrong bus. I was trying to get on a certain bus to get to school, and I took the wrong bus, and so I missed my bus, and I got stuck in a town that I didn't know, so I had to call my dad. I was already like kind of crying, and he picked me up. He brought me to school. So I was already having a horrible week. Oh, I'm trying so hard not to like. Oh, okay, so I'm sorry if I keep smiling. It's just, smiling is kind of how I cope. It's how I calm down. Okay, so I was already having a pretty bad week. And then the whole car thing happened. and I had to go to work right away, so I didn't get to go home or anything. And so I was sitting at work, and I just kept thinking about it. I'm like, this week is like horrible. And everybody has a bad week, but I think for me it was just a lot, because it was like starting school and hating it, and then this, and then it was a lot that happened all at once. So I decided to write out my emotions in a journal, and I'm gonna get that journal actually so I can read it to you, so I don't have to try and remember everything. So hold on. Okay, I don't know if I'm out of shape and that's why I'm exhausted from running upstairs, or if I'm just nervous and so my heart is beating. I think it's a bit of both. So this is my my honesty book, where I basically write out how I feel, because I don't talk to people. I haven't opened this book in a while, so the last time I've ever even written in my honesty book was October 7th of 2018, so a year ago. And that's crazy, because what I'm telling you about now is October 2017, so I'm going to go and look for that. So this happened October 2nd, 2017, and I'm going to read whatever, I'm going to read it. Lately, or for a long time now, the thought of death has come up, whether it's getting in a car accident or some sort of accident, something going on, me not waking up, or even suicide. I'm not saying any of this is okay, but I'm just being honest. The thought has sounded good and never alarmed me, even though I knew that thinking like that is bad. It's constantly in my mind, especially when I'm embarrassed or feel like giving up. The thought of Jesus coming back sounds so relieving. A lot of the time, I honestly just feel like I can't do this anymore. Maybe I need prayer, but mentally I'm just done. It feels like May all over again, when I was impatient for graduation day, and I just wanted it all to be over. I wanted to leave, and I found myself thinking the exact same way now, but who knows? Maybe this is just today. God, thank you, Jesus, for saving me, because I forgot that I even wrote this. And then so a few hours later, I came back and I wrote again. It's been a couple hours and a bit of inner crying. I want to see how things go. Maybe this feeling will leave me. So I was hoping that maybe the feeling would leave me. And then the same day, but it's a different entry, so I guess I wrote this later in the night. It says, I'm trying to understand why any of this matters, and so far I still don't know. Maybe I'm just depressed, but I can't find a reason for this. Makeup doesn't matter, YouTube doesn't matter, writing doesn't matter, relationships don't matter. Food and water only matter to live, but what are we living for? All I see is negativity in the world, and even when there's positivity, it seems like the bad overpowers the good. I find myself asking, what's the point? Really, what is the point? To spread the word of God, yes, but that's it. Everything else in this world will not follow me, so I just don't get the point. I'm just tired of being sad and angry and scared and anxious over a world that won't exist one day. I'm on this earth because I have to be. I just want to know when I will find real joy, not this temporary joy on this temporary earth. I'm only 18 and I'm already done. Marriage is not as important as going to heaven. Neither are children or college or a job. It's definitely really hard and very sad for me to read this, just because I haven't read any of my entries. I write it and I forget it. And to read this and just to see where I am now, it's just, it's sad, but I'm smiling because, like, I'm so grateful that I am not there anymore. And I promise this story will make sense, but right now I'm just trying to tell you what happened in October.
I also forgot to mention, but after work, when my parents picked me up from work, we were going straight to church, so I didn't get to go home. And so while we were driving to church, I was still feeling these emotions, and something in me was like, you should just tell them how you feel, because what you're feeling obviously isn't normal. What I was going through was very different, but because I'm so closed off, I was like, no, I'm not going to say anything, I'm just going to sit quietly. And I just remember while we were driving to church, I was like, I don't want to go there. I don't want to speak to a single human being. I really just want to be alone. But we still went, and somehow I managed to mask that, but the entire time we were going, I just didn't want to go, and I tried to convince myself, oh no, you're fine, but I knew I wasn't fine. This was a completely new feeling for me, and it didn't feel right, and I knew it was wrong, yet I didn't tell anybody.
And then I wrote on October 4th, and I'm not going to read this one, but I was just basically complaining about how this week is absolutely horrible to me. So there's that. And then the journal entries just kind of stop. Like, it just stops. Like, I don't appear depressed anymore. I seem like I'm fine. So after October, I seemed fine. Everything kind of passed. It seemed like it was just that day that I felt that way. And I guess I was better, and I kind of just moved on. Now let's fast forward to January of 2018. So I told you about October 2017, and now I'm going to move on to January of 2018. So January 2018 is when I started my second semester, and I still hated college. It didn't make a difference, but by then I started to make friends, and so I think they were a good distraction for me because I just focused on my friends the whole time. But it was quite something. I don't remember what day, but sometime in January I came home. I was by myself and I was just praying, and I felt so much joy, and I was so happy, and I was just saying, like, God, I love you, and I believe in you, and I'm your child, and I thank you, and like it was like I was rekindling my relationship with God, and I felt like I accepted Christ again in my life. And things were just like smooth sailing from there, man. I just felt so empowered. I had fire for God, and it was just great. And then I have really no idea how this happened, but weeks passed and February came. I was in my room and I was doing an assignment, and my thoughts and my emotions were just everywhere. It was everywhere. I just felt horrible. I don't know what it was. I was thinking about everything. I was stressing myself out about school, about my career, about my family. Everything was just in my face, and I was just like, I don't know if I was panicking. I don't know what it was, but I was just going insane. I was like crying inside, and I was having heart palpitations.
No, I was hyperventilating, and it wasn't having heart palpitations.
And I don't know if I was stressed. I don't know what it was, but I was just so... the only way I can describe it, I felt so trapped. I felt like I couldn't scream, but I had to scream. I felt like I couldn't run, but I needed to run. I felt like there was just something within me, and it was just anger, it was sadness, it was a mixture of all types of like negative and horrible emotions, and it was just building up in me. And I was just like, I need to do something. I need to scream this out. I need to cry. I just felt absolutely horrible, and because I'm such a closed off person and I don't open myself up, it was so painful because I wasn't telling anybody that I felt this way, and I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was stress. I don't really know what it was, but it was just this overwhelming pain within me, and I just needed to cry and scream. Like I was pacing back and forth in my room, just like holding it in like this, and just like trying not to scream when I knew I really needed to, and just trying not to cry. And my family, we do this thing where we pray together every single night, and so while I was in that mood in my room, my mom calls me to come and pray, and I really didn't want to because I was just a mess. I was a mess inside, but I went. Everybody prayed. I sat there the entire time. I didn't pray because I just could not. The way I was feeling, I did not want to speak to anyone, not even God, and I just sat there. And the minute we finished praying, I just left. I went to my room, and I just collapsed, locked my door, collapsed on bed, and I cried and cried for a long time. And to this day, I still don't know the actual cause. I just know I just couldn't hold that in any longer, and I just cried. And then I just remember, oh, I hate talking about this so much. Okay, the thoughts of October just flooded. They all just came back, and I was just like, I cannot do this. I don't want to, because the way I felt, it felt like I felt like that for years, even though it only started in February. But it was just such an overwhelming pain that I was like, I just don't want to feel this. Like I had no hope whatsoever. I truly believed that I was just gonna feel like this forever, and so all I wanted to do was for it to end. And I remember laying there in bed just crying. But then I reached that point when I started thinking about, how I felt in October and just wanting to give up and everything. I remember I just sat back like this. Tears are streaming down my face. And I'm not even screaming, I'm not moving. I'm like trembling, but I'm not like full-blown crying. Like, tears are streaming, and I'm just like shaking as if I need to explode or something. And I just remember I stared at my dresser at a bottle of pills the entire time. I just sat there crying inside, just shaking and just staring at it like this the whole time. And the thoughts in my head were ridiculous. And now that I am better, I know that was Satan really trying me. because I just remember all I heard was, you cannot die. But then I would hear, yes, you can. All of this would be over if you just did. And it was just this voice that sounded like it was me, and it was just like, this is the best way because there's no pain. You won't feel anything. You go to sleep and that's just it. Like, I just kept hearing that, and I guess I just kept staring at them, and I just wanted to go so bad. Like, I just didn't want to be there anymore. But obviously, here I am. I did not do it. And I still have the date. I remember I wrote the date down because I just wanted to remember that day and just realize where I am now. And I was just crying because I wanted to just, I don't like to say the word, so I'm just gonna say leave. I don't want to say the word, but I just couldn't do it anymore. It was February 19th, 2018. And I don't know, that was the day that it really just marked it for me. And by that I mean the thought didn't go away after that. It was like February 19th set the date. It was the date that I just experienced this depression and torment for months to follow. And I don't know what it was, but I would think like this often to the point where it got comfortable and I just accepted it. And then every now and then I would have these like crashes where I just felt like I wanted to die in that moment. But other times I would just accept it. Like, I would go to school in my head constantly, I just want to die. Like, constantly. But it became so normal to me that I would just say it casually in my head and it didn't bother me. If I would make little inside jokes that people wouldn't get, because nowadays everybody jokes about suicide, right? So no one even realized that I was being serious. I would continue to use this. I would continue to say these small little things indicating that I just wanted to die. But no one would really catch on because we live in a generation where death is funny now or something, or suicide is funny now, and so no one ever knew. No one ever, and I'm not blaming a single person. I'm not blaming anybody, but it was just the fact that I went on like this and people could never tell. And I would write so many poems about my pain, and I will share them one day. There's a lot, and I would just write out my pain and how I felt. And I lived with it. I thought I didn't care anymore. I just accepted the fact that, yes, I really want to just die right now. I would just casually think that was okay because I didn't see any hope. So I was like, well, oh well, I just want to die. Like, I would casually just accept that. And I just remember there were some days where it would be overwhelming, and I don't even think my family noticed, but there were days where I would literally just drop my head. I remember once I was helping my brother bake, and I was starting to feel the emotions. Like, there were some times where it would be intense, and I would just feel like, I just want to die right now. Like, right now. It would just be this wave of heavy sadness and depression just overtaking me, and I would literally just have to drop my head and lay on my arms like this because I could not sit there. And I remember once my brother was just like, "Are you tired?" And I was like, "Yeah," but I wasn't tired physically. I was just tired of this. I was tired of this, of life, and I didn't tell anybody. And I went on with this pain for months. I'm talking about this started January to February about, and this went on until August of the summer. This went on for, let me see, 7.5 months this went on without a single human being knowing. And I remember I wrote this in April of 2018, and it was kind of just a recap of everything that happened. I haven't written in this journal since last semester, which was pretty lonely. I started my spring semester on January 2nd and went through a lot of depression, a lot of suicidal and death thoughts. School just became stressful, life felt pointless. I was holding in a lot of emotion. On February 19th, I thought of taking my life. I screamed in my head, staring at a bottle of pills, thinking about how easy and peaceful my death would be. The voice of God kept telling me not to do it. The rest of this is just me talking about how I met my friends. So for the rest, I started talking about how I met my friends and how they were bringing me joy. And then I wrote, I'm sitting here now, thinking depressing thoughts again that I'm trying to make go away. I feel so weak. I think about death, depression, and ending my life. Maybe it's because I'm an impulsive person. I just go with what I think. I really don't know, but it sucks. I begin to question if there's something wrong with me, if I should seek help. And then I go into here. I've become quite sensitive to the word suicide. It gives me chills and it sends me back to the time I first thought of taking my life. As if it's a trigger word for me now. The very thought of it immediately puts me in a state of depression that I can't get rid of. So yeah, that's how life is going. I'm happy but still messed up inside. I keep thinking it's just a phase. Like once I finish college, I won't have these emotions anymore. I don't know. I hope it's true. I talk to no one about it and it kills me. Maybe I'll be better tomorrow. Fingers crossed. I need to write in here more often since I have no one else. I didn't tell anybody I was going through this. It would just fluctuate. Because then on April 15th, so that was the next day, my title is I'm Okay Now. And it's weird because it's like one day I'm happy and then the next day I'm in the most sad and depressed mood of all time. And that's just how it went on for months. It was like one minute I would be happy, but the minute I just wasn't distracted by a human being, I would just get depressed and I would just get sad and I would just think about dying. And it was the weirdest thing, because when my friends were around, they would distract me. I would laugh with them, I would hang with them. It was a great time. But then if they couldn't distract me any longer, I would just go right back into the same thoughts. And I knew these thoughts were bad, but because I'd gotten so used to them, I didn't care. I didn't tell anybody. And then we go on to April 24th. So this is about 9 days after I wrote that I'm okay. Still not better. I still think about death and wanting to die. I thought I moved past it, but I guess not. Okay, so this part's really dark, but here it goes. Last night, Jeremy's little brother. Last night, Jeremy apparently had an asthma attack, and I thought about how bad it is that I slept through the whole thing and heard nothing. I thought about how good it was that someone heard and helped him. It made me think about me dying in the middle of the night while everyone else is sleeping. It didn't even sound like a bad thing to me. I just thought about how devastated my parents would be, or how guilty everyone would feel for not knowing I passed away. The only thing that keeps me going is the thought of hurting so many people if I passed away. Other than that, I still think about dying, and I know I shouldn't. I sometimes make jokes about death, but the thing is I'm never joking, I genuinely mean it. And that's exactly what I mean, is that I would casually say these jokes without people realizing that I was being 100% serious. I did not want to be here anymore, but I just didn't tell anybody. And I don't blame a single person. I blame myself for being so closed off and just not telling anyone. And that was April. So as you can see, my mood fluctuates.
I keep saying fluctuate when the word is fluctuate, and it's driving me insane.
It would go up and then it would go down, and I was just so confused emotionally. That's where I just stopped writing in it, and I would just continue to go through these moods where I'm happy, then I'm upset, then I'm happy, and then I'm upset, and it just seemed like it kept going back and forth. And what was weird is that when I would get upset, that would cripple me for so long. It was like when I was happy, it was temporary, but then when I was sad, it would last for so long. And finally, let's just fast forward through all of this. It was July or August. I do not remember. It might have been July, not August. I'm not sure, but I remember on Sunday I was having one of these moods again. We were coming back from church and it literally just swallowed me. Like the feeling took over all of me, and I was so sad and so depressed and just so over it. So over it. I was laying down by myself in the car. I went to the very, very back of the car and I just lay down when we were driving home. And then my parents wanted to go see Julie and her family. So we went to their house and I wasn't having it at all. I just didn't want to do this and it was just bad. And I just remember I just laid there and I didn't want to talk to anybody. And they would ask me, okay? I'm like, yeah, I'm just tired. But I was over it, and I just said like I'm mentally just not here. And I couldn't explain anymore, but I just knew that I wasn't having it. And before I even finish up with what happened, I briefly just want to talk about how I felt when I would go through these like depressive episodes or whatever you'd like to call it, because I don't know if somebody can relate, but I really just want to explain. The way I felt was very weird because I knew wholeheartedly that I just wanted to die. I knew for myself that I just didn't want to be here anymore and I just wanted it to end. But one, I did not want to kill myself. I mean, I wanted to, but I knew that I could not. I felt trapped. I remember saying this. I literally felt trapped. I felt like I wanted to die so bad, But because I had people who cared about me, and because I knew that God would not allow me to kill myself, I felt like I was trapped, like I wasn't allowed to choose what I wanted to do. And that ate at me, and it just killed me, because I was so angry with people, I was so angry with God, that I just couldn't die. I was so depressed and so sad and just so over all of it, and all I wanted to do was for it to end. And I wanted to be the one to end it, because I knew God wasn't going to end it. He wasn't going to do it anytime soon. And I was just so fed up with being here, and I just wanted it to end, but I couldn't do anything about it. And I felt like that for the longest time. So finally it was just filling me up, and I got home and I just laid there on my bed. I didn't talk to anybody. My cousin came over, I didn't speak to him. I just laid in my bed and I just stared at the wall, and I just remember crying and talking to God and saying, God, please, why can't I just go? Why am I here? Why won't you just let me leave? I don't want to be here. I'm tired of being here. I wish my family never cared about me so I could just go in peace. I wish Julie didn't care about me. I wish my parents didn't care about me. I wish no one cared about me so I wouldn't feel bad about leaving. I wish no one would remember me so I could just die. That's all I want. And I just remember I was so angry, and I just wanted God to take me out of this world. And it was just filling me up, and I was crying, and it was getting so difficult. And I remember my brothers and my cousin all headed out somewhere. My dad was actually in Haiti at the time for a trip, and I remember I went to my mom's room and I laid there for a bit, and my mom was like, "You okay?" And I was just like, I just need to lay down. And finally I turned around, because my head wasn't facing her. I was laying down like this. I turned around, tears streaming, and I just bawled. I cried for so long, and it was just the hardest cry. And my mom wanted to say something, but she wanted to give me time, so she didn't do anything. And I was just crying and crying, and it was, I'm not doing this. We are not gonna get teary-eyed here. I cried and cried and cried, and it was just so hard. And I just remember the only thing that I could say in that moment to my mom was, I just kept saying, I need help. I just kept saying, I need help, because I had been battling just this pain and this sadness for so long, and I couldn't do it anymore, and I just wanted it to end. Like, it was just shocking, because I never would have thought that I would be, someone to reach that point where I wanted to actually just die, to not live anymore. And to have that thought for almost 8 months. My mom, after I'd finally told her, I didn't even tell her all of this, so if she watches this then she'll understand more, but I just remember telling her I've been depressed for months, and it's killing me, and I can't. I just remember that's similar to what I said. And she was like, right away, she was like, we're going to fast. We're going to defeat this. We're not going to let this take you any longer, because this is Satan, and you were giving him power. And she was like, we're going to fast together to fight this. And I will never stop saying how much I appreciate my mom for not just saying, you need to fast. She said, we are going to fast. She was willing to be in this with me. And so we decided we were going to fast from the minute we woke up until 12 p.m. eating absolutely nothing. And once at 12, we would do a prayer. If we wanted to watch anything, it had to be God related. We didn't do anything secular whatsoever. And I remember in the beginning, I really went into this like fully, and we would pray every single night, asking God to take this away, to take this feeling away. And first day, nothing happened. I felt the same way, but I didn't want to give up, because especially since I knew she was doing it with me, I didn't want to give up. So we went into it. I didn't feel anything throughout the week. I would watch God videos that didn't really help me, but I just went into it. And finally, what's crazy is on the last day of the fast, it wasn't even 12 p.m. yet. It was like 10 a.m. And I just remember in that moment I was thinking I think I was thinking about roller coasters or something. And I was like, imagine if something bad happened on the roller coaster and I died. And when I said that, I was terrified of the thought. I was so scared. I was like, I would never want to die. I would never want to die from a roller coaster. That's crazy. For the first time in months, I had fear of dying. Mind you, for all these months, I invited it. I wanted it to happen. When I would think about it, I would feel nothing. I was numb, and I would want it to happen. If I thought about a car accident, I wanted to die in that car accident. No matter what it was, I invited death. I wanted to die. I wanted that. So I wasn't afraid of it. I was numb to it. But in that moment, I was like, I would be so scared to like die right now. And the second I realized that I was scared, it was like something just clicked. I was like, wait, did I just say that I'm scared? And so I'm like, Ashley, are you afraid to die? And I was like, of course, I'm terrified. Why would I ever want to do that? It was the weirdest thing. It was like I was a completely different person in that moment. And I remember writing this down. This is what I wrote on August 1st. Wow. I wrote this on August 1st, 2018. So this actually ended in the end of July, not August. I don't know why I got that confused. But this was written on August 1st, 2018 at 11:24. So not 10, 11. See, I'm not, okay. So it says, I want to live, in all caps in that first part. I want to live. I want to live and not die. I have peace and joy in my heart. I see a future. I see light in my future. Life will get hard, but I will persevere. Death is not the answer. Death is empty and cold and boring and bitter. There is joy in life. Life is hard, but it's survivable. I'm not tired. I'm energized. I'm not exhausted. I will face life's challenges head on. I have been strengthened. I have strength. I will survive. Life will not defeat me. The devil will not defeat me. Satan has no hold on me. I want to live and not die. I shall live and not die. Death is not an option. Suicide is not the answer. I don't want to die. I don't want to give up. I don't want to take the easy way out because life is worth living. There is joy and peace, and yes, these things matter. These joyous moments, these moments of laughter, this peace I feel, none of it is temporary. Sadness and pain and negativity are temporary, but not the joy, not the peace, not the sadness, not the hard times, not the struggle, not the pain. These are temporary. They do not last. I've had it all wrong this whole time. Death is not something to look forward to. Physical death is empty. It doesn't relieve. Peace and joy and happiness and relationships and friendships and fun and makeup and writing and YouTube are all what make life worth it. None of it is temporary. This is for as long as I want to live. I will not die, but I will live forever. Even when my flesh is in the ground, my spirit will live and I will be happy. These joyous moments and the peace I feel will carry with me to heaven. They will never leave me. Pain is temporary. Peace is everlasting. This life is so worth it. In the name of Jesus Christ, I am not depressed. The blood of Jesus has cleansed my spirit and I am not depressed. I shall live and not die. I am free in the name of Jesus Christ. And that is what I wrote. And ever since that day, I've been good. So for one, I truly believe, hold on, the lighting is bothering me. Number one, I just want to say, I truly, from that experience, I realized that fasting is legit. I never liked fasting. I never thought it really did much, but fasting is legit. It actually makes a difference, and I now see that because I never expected such a change in me. And second, I don't want to come off as if I've been diagnosed with depression. I'm not trying to say that I am. I didn't know another word to really describe this extreme and intense sadness because it was so much more than just sadness, and I wasn't really sure how to put that. So I say that I was depressed, but I don't mean that I was diagnosed with depression, and I'm not trying to say that I have depression. I went through a very depressing time in my life. I suppose I can put it that way. I don't know. But yeah, I really wanted to talk about this. One, because it's kind of a testimony, I guess. And also because, I don't know, it could help somebody somehow. I want to apologize to my friends and family who never knew and who are basically finding out about it like right now. I'm a very closed off person, and I know that's really bad because God forbid there's an emergency. I need to tell somebody things. And I'm still working on it. I'm still very secretive. But I'm just glad I let this out of my chest.
Let this off your chest, not out. Why can't you talk?
Because I feel so free. I just feel like, I don't know, I just feel like I can understand now.
Understand what? Why don't I finish my sentences?
One thing I want to add that I noticed is that after, you know, I got better and I felt better, when I went, mind you, it was summer, it was July, so I wasn't in school. When I went back to school in September, as I got back to the groove of things, I felt it. I felt a little bit of the depression trying to come back, but I said, nah, say, you're not going to get me this time. And I would rebuke it immediately, and I would not let it come back. And so part of me kind of thought, is college causing this whole depression that I was going through? Possibly. Maybe it's a slight trigger. I don't know, because it seems that whenever I was there, I was just depressed. So I don't know. I know college depression is totally a thing. I'm not saying it isn't. It definitely is. And maybe that's what it was. But even when I wasn't in college, the feeling persisted. So I'm not entirely sure. But I'm just glad I was able to talk about this. I really hope this helped somebody. But what I really want to explain to you right now is that suicide is never, absolutely not the answer. You taking your life is not the answer. And it took me so long to finally realize that. The way you are feeling, the pain that you're feeling, that is temporary. At first, what I read before in October, I thought that was permanent. It is not. God did not put you on this earth for you to only feel pain. And there was this video that I was watching from a YouTuber named Jalen. Her YouTube is Face for Matter. And one thing she said that truly stood out to me was, it's not that you want to die, you just don't want to hurt. You don't want to die, you just don't want to hurt. Please, please don't get that confused, okay? Because life is worth living. There's too much in this life for you to just give up. You cannot do that. Please don't do that. One thing I realized, and I posted it on Instagram, but one thing that I realized was that even if you believe that you have absolutely no value or purpose, you do. And I'm sorry if I'm coming here and I'm telling you that you're incorrect, but you do have purpose and you have value here. And whether you believe in God or not, God has placed you here for a reason, because He knows that you are worth something so much greater. Even if you feel like complete trash, you are not complete trash. You are here for a specific reason. And I don't care if you think, oh, they don't need me for anything, they have all these other people. There is a seat for every single human being on this earth, and there is a time limit that you sit in that seat. So I don't want you to think like, well, if I leave it won't matter. It will absolutely matter, because that seat that you decided you wanted to leave early, that seat's always going to be empty. No human being can take that seat. Not a single human being. I wouldn't care if you had somebody that did the exact same thing as you, that spoke the same way. I couldn't care less if you had a clone on this earth who was a human being who was exactly like you. You have your seat. No one else is taking that seat. And if you take your life, that seat is empty forever. You could be changing somebody's life. But if you end yours, that person will never, ever, you can never help that other person. And I don't know if this is even getting through to anybody, maybe it isn't, but I just want you to understand that you are so important. So you specifically are so important to this earth, and you just don't even know it yet. I don't know how. This video, I guarantee, is going to help at least one person. And if it does help at least one person, that is a good enough reason why it is a good thing that I did not end my life. Because I am here helping somebody. You could be helping so many people. You could be helping yourself. Please, even if you don't know me, please do not ever for a second think that it is okay for you to end your life, because it's not. And I may not know you personally, but my heart would literally ache if you had done that. Even if I don't know who you are, if I had known you, even if I hadn't known you, even if I had just seen you and somebody told me that that person over there took their life, that would hurt me so bad, because I don't want a single person to think that they don't have a reason to be here. And I don't want anyone to give up thinking that they don't need to be here. We desperately need you here. And so that's just something that I really wanted to say in this video. And it took me so long to realize that. You're not here for no reason. There is a purpose and there is a reason. Don't ever think that you're just here because you're here. You are definitely here for a reason. I need you to promise me that you will be here the next day and the next day and the next day and the next day, until we all pass away from natural causes. But I would love if you were here the next day and years from now. So without any more, because this is a long video, I will see you guys in the next video. I really hope this helps somebody. Peace, love, and unity. Deuces.